crazy. But man, I gotta put my hoodie on because it's not that coldness that come with a coat, but it's, you know, can't wear this regular long sleeve shirt either. But I guess it's hard to wear that too because you might end up getting shot. Yeah, it's Trayvon Wayne, T. Wayne, and I just want to talk about the whole Trayvon Martin situation. It's a very controversial thing, and I know a lot of people is doing stuff over it, and I just don't want to be another voice involved, but I do have things to say, and it's some real stuff, and I just gotta say, like, it's sad, but what I'm seeing is sad is not the fact that Zimmerman killed Martin, but what I'm seeing even more sad is that people is using the story to get, you know, things like more likes on Facebook, but even worse than that, tweeting about it and then making negative comments and stuff like that. Now, there's a girl on Twitter right now named Dominique, but her Twitter name is anti-caps lock dark skin. So it's lowercase anti, all capitals, dark skin. I do know what her issue is. She's racist against colored people, or maybe just African Americans, because, you know, I don't see anything about Hispanics and Asians or anything else on there. But it disturbs me because I got one thing to say to you. Racism, I know it's gonna be there, but really, you being as open with your racism as you are, and as closed-minded, and not seeing how far all other races other than Caucasians have come in today's society, that shows how ignorant and dumb and ridiculous you are. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, you're not important to the world because you obviously don't see this is a tragedy for the world, the whole Trayvon Martin thing, and everything that goes. There's so many tragedies in the world, but it really is a beautiful place, and I thank God for that because, you know, we could all live in turmoil right now, and that could be all the news is about, but there's great things that goes on. But the fact that you choose to feel ever so strong to say that he deserved to get shot because he was black, and it'll teach black people to not mess with white people. First of all, Zimmerman was of the Latino race. Secondly, that's just so ignorant. Nobody deserves to die because of something that they have no control over. It's people like you, I could just say some crazy stuff right now, like you one string banjo clucking, moonshine making, trailer park trash. I could say a bunch of stuff like that, just based off of what your ignorance you're saying. So I'm not I could say all that, but I'm not going to just like stoop down to that level. But like the fact that you can say stuff like black university equals prison, stuff like that, like really, you can miss the world with that stuff because nobody, you're not impressing no one. Like, really, what are you doing this for? Your little moment in the spotlight. But I'm not gonna waste like 10,000 minutes on just you because you're not really worth the gum that I step on walking down the street. So back to the whole Trayvon Martin Zimmerman thing. I find it hard that the world sees the injustice, but the people involved, such as the attorney of Zimmerman, the police, you know, they don't see what's wrong, but there's several things wrong and why Zimmerman should be at least up for trial. I know he has a lawyer. I'm not sure if he has a trial going on, but I'm concerned about how things in the world are just playing out right now because, you know, a girl throws something at Kim Kardashian and the world has to stop. Like, Twitter, media take out, Facebook, like, all the news. Like, the world almost died because, you know, Kim Kardashian had to change her makeup and her clothes for once. Well, not for once, because, you know, she does that a lot. She gets paid for nothing. And I love her for that because she's really living the American dream. But, like, just because she has to go and have a wardrobe change and misses however long that is to be the gift to the world has to stop. But, and then the girl has to pay extra, like, just crazy consequences. But when an innocent, a proven innocent 17-year-old has his life taken for doing nothing wrong with getting Skittles at Arizona, walking down the street, putting on a hoodie, talking on the phone. When he gets murdered, the person who does it has no consequences whatsoever. That's what I call BS. Because there's several things wrong with that. And it's already things. I said it, everybody can tell. So many things wrong with that. But my thing is, I'm going to go directly, or not what's wrong with what everybody sees, but directly what's wrong that Zimmerman did. Even before the situation, I don't know why he was part of the Neighborhood Watch, really. He should have been taken off, because in the last 3 months, since this year has started, he had more calls to the freaking 911 than anybody. Like, that's so many calls. Like, he called 911 more than I called my own mother. Like, that's really ridiculous. Like, he went overboard, and he was, like, paranoid. Like, he was more paranoid than a crackhead next to a police station. Like, under the influence. Like, he was that paranoid. Really, once you see somebody that paranoid, you need to get some psychiatric help. He has psychological issues that somebody had to deal with. And I don't think the neighborhood should have had that burden watching their streets. I don't know who thought, hey, let's make the crazy guy the head of Neighborhood Watch. But that was wrong, number one, because he was crazy. Whether it was secret crazy, because I've heard people say that he was secret crazy. Well, those calls should have triggered something, and then he was ahead of it. Secondly, as a Neighborhood Watch personnel, you are not allowed to carry a weapon. He is licensed to carry his weapon. But as a Neighborhood Watch personnel, when dealing with an issue, you're not allowed to use your weapon. So right there, that's problem number 2. He ended up using his weapon. Other problem is that he called the cops this fateful night, and the police officer told him not to intervene, to stay in his house and let the police do the police department do their job, do their duty. And the fact that he did not want to listen to that does not make him renegade, but it makes him more stupid, and that wasn't smart, and he shouldn't have did that. That was totally wrong, because these people get paid for this. He just disobeyed which is disrespecting the people who keep his house, his neighborhood, his local community, and so forth safe. The police department, nurses, firefighters, doctors, these people are all on a level that they need that certain amount of respect that when they say something, you could at least think it over and give them respect to following through because they're trained and studied in what they do. So the fact that you just decided you're above the law, that is my other problem. My problem is that as Trayvon was on the phone and walking, and he was told to run on the phone, and he said, no, I'll walk faster, and you followed him as he was speeding up, that's a problem. But when he starts running and you keep on following him, that's another problem. I personally, I would have saw that as, oh, well, okay, even if, I'm trying to get in your head, Zimmerman, check out your mind, but, okay, if he runs, okay, you're thinking, oh, he's a criminal, well, he did something, okay, wouldn't that just make you think, hey, okay, I can't, even if I did catch him, I can't take him to jail my freaking self, like, come on now. So, you call, like, even a regular cop would have called in for backup if he would, like, I don't know, stole something or, committed a crime. So that's when you call the cops and tell them that you have somebody running away from you in the neighborhood. Not only that, a woman calls in to 911 and hears a struggle. Not a struggle of you, but a struggle of a young boy. Now, 17, I don't consider 17 a young boy because I am 17. I feel like I'm grown. But the fact that she said it was a struggle between a young boy shows how much of a difference there is between you and the victim. So the victim was Trayvon, which means you were antagonizing him, perpetrating him, and he was suffering. So there was no way in my mind that he could have attacked you. But even if so, if he attacked you, well, first of all, you kind of deserved it because you kept on following him when you didn't have no business doing it. But if he was to attack you, how did you shoot him in his back? And if you got the moment to shoot him in his back, that could have been the same moment to run away. And then let the law work their magic. Now, come on now. You said you have a broken nose, and he fought you. You have no scratches. And I don't see one of those things on your nose, but I don't know. I don't see you right now. But I'm just saying, like, after it happened and you got to talk to people, at that moment you didn't. Maybe you were, I don't know, going to the hospital later and you knew it was broke. I don't know. But and you are extra dumb for trying to cover it up with stupid stuff like, oh no, we've known Zimmerman for forever. He would never do something like that. It's not the fact that he wouldn't, because he did. People do unexpected stuff all the time. It happens. But, and then to say, I'm not trying to say you're racist, but I think that prejudice of black people has something to do with it. But I think now you're stooping down to a very, very low level by saying that you and your wife mentored two African-American children. That's okay, that's good. That's good on you. But now you're really trying your hardest not to make it seem like now it's like if I was to hit somebody with my car drinking and driving, and I said, no, I used to hold a seminar in a health class saying drinking is bad. Okay, all right. You did a good thing. This is a whole other thing. They're closely related, but it's not the same. So maybe you should get somebody who's been looking out the window like, I saw Trayvon Martin attack Mr. Zimmerman, and that's what happened. No, you can't have nobody do that. And once that happens, and somebody is actually trustworthy enough for that, like, because I probably wouldn't believe it, but maybe I would believe it, depending on who it was, then once you do that, I really think you have no argument. Zimmerman needs to go to jail. But I wouldn't want to give him life because he's crazy. I think, personally, he needs to be checked for insanity. Insanity. Because, he's, like I said, those calls, he must have been insane. He had to be crazy. But, if I was a judge, this is what I'd have in order. I'd give you like 20 years of jail, prison. And it'll be like this. It'll be Big Fat Mike and Convict Tone that'll be in your room that can make shanks out of toothbrushes. Every day you get a new shank, and then every night they tear your walls from one side of the prison to the other side. It's going to be as big as Guantanamo Bay. That's what I want. And every day you have a cock meat sandwich, because that's what you deserve. Because you took a life. And a lot of times I'd be like, people deserve something as severe. Like, I wouldn't think of the death penalty, but I think of, like, you know, you took somebody's life, we had your life in prison. But like I said, I wouldn't want to give you full life because you're crazy. I would want you to suffer so badly in prison that when that 20 years is up, you get to finally go to a place where it's filled with pillows and you get to hug yourself with this nice white jacket that lets you hug yourself all day, all night. And then one day they let you off the jacket and you just decide, you finally crack. And that's when you can finally take your own life. Or you decide from then. But if I was in your predicament, I've never thought about taking my life, but if I was in your predicament, I wouldn't think twice about wanting to live in this world. I'd probably ask for the death penalty, ask for somebody else to kill me. But that's what I think you deserve. Everyone else, don't use Trayvon Martin just to get likes on Facebook and retweets on Twitter, because that's trashing. And please let him rest in peace. My prayers go out to him and his family. So let him rest in peace, because that's all the dead really want. I don't believe that the dead wants to be avenged, because God has his way. I don't call it karma. It's just God getting back. But I have to handle something, and
What are you doing?
subscribe to me. Making a video, think you do?
Okay.
So subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at @AintShitTweet. That's AINTSHITTWEET. And so follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to this channel. I should be having more videos coming up. And that's just my whole little thing on Trayvon Martin. Love you, YouTube. Peace out. Yeah.